The Starbucks strike and unionization effort makes absolutely zero sense when you think about it. Right now, a lot of Starbucks employees around the country, they're complaining about not getting paid enough, and also bad working conditions, bad management, and stuff like that. And so there's walkouts on like the Red Cup Day, where Starbucks was providing some pretty nice cups that you could take home. But this is one of the biggest days at Starbucks in the entire year, and some of the stores had employees who were protesting or striking, and I can understand that some of these employees don't like the working conditions as they exist at Starbucks. But the problem is that some of them don't recognize that some of the problems exist mainly because of prior efforts at protesting. For instance, some of these stores are understaffed, and I agree with that. Some of the stores do seem like they don't have enough people working there. But in terms of why that is, a lot of that has to do with this $15 an hour minimum wage, maybe even higher, like in Los Angeles. And what happens is that Starbucks tends to have far fewer employees in these stores, because there is only so much money that Starbucks has available to pay wages. I know some people think, oh, they have an endless pot of money, they can just pay whatever, have an unlimited number of employees at a very high wage. Well, that just isn't the case. It's fast food. It's not even the highest margins you can imagine. It's only around 10 to 11% profit margin for Starbucks. So they don't have an endless pot of gold to raise wages and have a lot of employees, especially when things are slow. So I agree, some people feel overstressed and working very hard, but a lot of that has to do with the fact is that you asked for $15 an hour minimum wage, you got it, and now you're suffering the consequences of it because there just aren't enough people working there, and so you feel a little bit more stressed out and tired and things like that. So this whole movement, I believe, is a fake movement. I think the unions basically are there to say, yeah, our man is cheating you, you need to join the union. But when you think about it, the union is greedy too. They want 1 to 2% of your wages. So and then are you really going to be better off? Because it's a weirdly strange situation when you join the union, you're going to have to pay them, even if all the conditions are met and Starbucks finally fixes a lot of the problems that you were complaining about, you're still going to be paying them to 2% of your wages every month, and that just seems like a huge ripoff. Now, I think you also have to consider why Starbucks doesn't really want a union. If you think about it, smaller mom and pop stores, they're not going to have a union, and they're not going to have the same kind of constraints that Starbucks has. When you have like one store that has constraints like Starbucks, and then mom and pop stores will not have to abide by that, you're going to have a situation where they're a lot more competitive than Starbucks, and more Starbucks stores will be closing as time goes on because they just will not be able to compete with a more flexible competitor. I think this is a situation where a really large store is not a competitive advantage. In fact, it's a disadvantage that you're going to have. So I think investors are quite right to be a little bit skeptical of Starbucks stock. I would not be buying the stock. The PE is still a little bit, I think it was like in the high 20s to 30s. But the problem with this stock long term is going to be the union effort, because look at what the unions did to General Motors. General Motors was once one of the most innovative and cars out there, and same for Ford and Chrysler. But look at what happened to them. Nobody thinks these cars are innovative or are cool. The Japanese and German cars, they just handle this a lot better over time. Now you have Tesla, and they're pretty much handling it without a union, but you can see how unpopular that is. But in terms of Starbucks, if Starbucks becomes like the Soviet Union, really rigid, and they can't keep their hours, they can't keep the store open for very long, because let's say we follow all of the union's demands, really high wages, we're going to be really overstaffed. We're gonna have tons of employees, and everything is gonna be perfect, and it's not gonna be a burden for each individual who's working there. If you think about it, that means Starbucks would have to be available only in the morning, and then they're gonna close, because then they'll be able to save the money from not having far too many people when things are slow. So if you think about it, Starbucks is in a tough situation. If you think also this, they can't, how much more can they really expand in the US? I mean, basically they are in all the urban areas, but urban areas are where it's become too pricey. In the rural areas, I think that people find that Starbucks is a little bit expensive. They have kind of expanded to quite a number of countries. Some countries they've had a little bit of a tougher time in, but I think the unions will be the thing that actually makes it so that it's actually possible at some point there will be this regional coffee company that competes against Starbucks that won't have a union, and that's just going to really be a huge competitive advantage, because if your competitor is like a GM with really rigid union rules, and you come in there and compete against them like a Tesla or something like that, you're gonna do a lot better. So I think the era of Starbucks may be drawing to a close if the unions succeed. So we'll have to see how that goes. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.